far. Scourge now flying in just in time to get those Corsairs as they pop out. Also, of course, acting as a spot. There is a third gateway coming up for movie, fourth as well. Now, Scourge is going to be able to fly around. Top of Archives up, so we're most likely going to see Dark Templar. And when you go for Dark Templars, you really do not want to lose your initial Corsair, and that's a bit of a setback there. And first Corsair comes out, Scourge in position. No cannons. Scourge going to be able to force micro around. We're going to see, okay, he's going to go to his natural with the safety of cannons there. Not going to be able to spot a Scourge. Scourge is going to be forced to just sit inside the main. Now Corsair again going to go out, even more Scourge though in the air, flying around, going to try to catch the Corsair again. Jaedong, if he manages to keep this Corsair number down, just can be able to completely counter and make Movie's build completely ineffective. The creep colony being added at the 8 o'clock position, so Jaedong is going to try to be a little bit safe. Several Zealots now on the ground. Scourge going to attack, try to kill the Corsair before he manages to kill anything else. Archon's actually out in the field. Never mind the Dark Templar. She's actually going for a Zealot Archon ground army, a heavy ground army. So the Corsairs, we're going to see how heavy he goes on the Corsairs. Jaedong adding another Sunken Colony at the 8 o'clock base, so he's feeling that might be attacked soon. Doesn't really have much in the way of troops at the location so far. Adding also Creep Colony as his natural expansion. He's going very heavy on defense. Just a rather big ground army going to be coming in out from Movie now. 2 Archons. Second Archon just now morphing in, so he's going for Zealots alongside those Archons, and that's a pretty hefty ground army. No Mutalisks, actually, from what I can see for Jaedong. Yeah, just went for those Scourge. And don't know if I spot a Hydrate in for him yet, but now the Archon and Zealots just running around. I'm not quite sure if the Zealots have speed yet. Yet another second colony being added in at the 8 o'clock base. Zealots just running out. No speed for the Zealots yet, I think. Not quite sure. I think actually they might have speed so at this point already. Movie now adding 2 more gateways. And the Zealots, yeah, with speed running. We're going to see whether they actually managed to run those at the 8 o'clock position. I'm not even sure if he spotted that yet. Jaedong adding now more second colonies all over the place at his natural expansion. Adding yet another base at the lower left at the 7 o'clock. And Movie, really, if he doesn't go around and spot those bases and do some damage to them, he's going to be in trouble. He's now actually going to go for the natural expansion. He has Corsairs, killing the Scourge, losing 1 Corsair while he's at it. But Zealots are going to go down with 2 Archons to support. Nothing but sunken colonies and Zergings. Zergings waiting just to try to get a decent surround possibly, but Zealots and Archons are going to go instantly for the drone line, going to be able to melt a lot of forces there. Zealots blocking for the Archons. Archons now going to go for the hatcheries there, and now going to be able to attack the sunken colonies. 1 Archon has gone down, but more Archons there, still in the air. 1 Corsair, another Corsair goes down there. 1 sunken colonies, the other 2 heavily in danger, but now even more Zergings coming in, going to be able to surround the Archon, and now I think this attack is not going to pan out very well for Movie. Did not manage to take out... Really took out several drones, but not really managed to do too much else. Dark Templar coming in, but there's an Overlord running in just in time. And oh god, if he had went for that attack for the 8 o'clock base, he would have been in a pretty decent position, but overall pretty bad for him now. Mutalisks have Carapace upgrade, gonna kill the scouting Zealot. And I think Movie really should go around and scout. I'm not even sure if he doesn't still know of that position at the 8 o'clock of those 2 bases. He is screwed. Jaedong is just 1 more minute of Jaedong having those 2 bases. He's going to have Mutalisk army alongside a ground army that's going to be able to completely overwhelm anything the Movie might have. Mutalisk just flying around, doing a lot of damage to those probe lines. There are Corsairs, a couple of cannons as well to help defend. Archons there as well. Dark Templar almost managed to get through the sunken, past the sunken and Zerglings. Jaedong actually looks a little bit surprised, like, whoa, that almost happened. I can't believe that almost happened. That would have been bad. Possibly could have been bad. Evolution Chamber now coming up, so he might be switching over to a ground support army to just take on these Zealots. And now Movie thinking of expanding at the inside 1 o'clock. Just he doesn't know what Jaedong has. I definitely don't think he thinks that Jaedong is on 2 bases. He definitely has there's no way he's thinking Jaedong is on 2 bases. But just he has no idea of those bases at the 8 o'clock, and he just hasn't spotted those. Did not go with Corsair there at all at any point in the game. I think he really should have, but now actually moving out, using those Corsairs to push back the Mutalisks a little bit. Of course, Corsairs do some pretty decent amount of damage. Now Scourge going to fly right towards those. Corsairs being microed against those. Archon's going to take no shots. But Archons, of course, alongside Corsairs, very effective. Overlord going to get killed there as well. Scourge... I don't think they managed to take out a Corsair. I'm not quite sure. Zealot's actually going to move again towards the Jaedong's natural. There are Mutalisks and everything else. And for where everything else, no more forces coming in. Archon's just now coming in now. alongside those Scourge. I think one of the Corsairs, Corsair got taken down, but now I think not really that many forces. Again, Movie still has a lot of those Zealots on the ground. Mulisk attacking those Zealots. Archon's trying to attack anything that's in the air or on the ground. Corsairs also trying to attack those Mulisk in the air. Most of the Zealots at this point are dead, and the Archons haven't been able to do too much. All the Mulisk have gone down. Oh, the last Archon goes down just in time. Still a couple of Zealots out there going to be able to take down the last Sunken and go towards the main. We're going to see whether Movie has enough to reinforce this and go for yet another attack, because it's going to take Jaedong a little bit of time to reinforce the force he has on the ground. He's mostly just has a lot of Zerglings on the ground alongside some Mulisk in the air, most of which have been taken out at this point. Some Zealots going inside trying to get some drone kills, but still Jaedong with very strong economic advantage. Movie now adding 2 more gateways, adding a Nexus at the inside 1 o'clock, and cannons, just canning it up, getting more Archons alongside those Zealots. Actually, some Zerglings going to move towards those. Archon going to get surrounded. No weapons upgrades for him yet. Archon manages to survive. So Zealots there in pretty good position to help reinforce. Jaedong actually going to move even more Zerglings towards the north, possibly thinking of surprising and trying to get in a surround. But Movie just... I honestly don't understand why he didn't send a scout towards the 8 o'clock. You don't really know what Jaedong's up to. He is going to send forces right back there. Only 2 sunken colonies have been put down. A few Mulisk in the air, alongside some Zerglings. Some Zealots going to start off by running downwards. We're going to see Zealots going to start off, take some sunken hits. Archons coming alongside. I'm not seeing the Corsairs yet. Zerglings coming in as well. Archons being taken out. Zealots just moving around trying to kill the sunken colonies. And honestly, this is not what Movie wants to be doing right now. He's just running Zealots into death. He's running all of his forces into death, and that's, well, not a good thing. Actually, now thinking of expanding at the 12 o'clock position, so he's going to try to equalize the economic position. Jaedong is at 4 bases at this point, and Movie at 3, but he's been economically behind quite a lot. Now has more Zealots on the ground. They're going to get some free hits from those Mulisks. Archons are trying to help them out, but Jaedong's still in beautiful position, adding in a Queen's Nest at the 7 o'clock base, so he's going to go for Hive Tech fairly soon. Going to have some cracklings in the air. Mule is just flying around. I think Jaedong spotted the 12 o'clock. He should have. Now going to go for the probes at the inside 1 o'clock. Going to fly right back towards the 12 o'clock. Cannon trying to morph in. Those Zealots are going to be able to do a lot of damage. Going to take out the probe there. Actually going to take out the cannons before they morph in, and probably take out the pylon as well. So Movie's new 12 o'clock base is going to get completely delayed. He's meanwhile built a pretty sizable force, well, decent sized force. A lot of Zealots, and still don't see any Weapons 1 upgrades. They are on the way. Still no Weapons 1 so far. Yeah, is on the way though. And really has been one of the weaknesses. Those Mulisk with those Carapace upgrades really been very useful for Jaedong. Those Zerglings being used very beautifully by him, and actually now going to move forces towards the 8 o'clock. So he finally knows of this. He finally knows there are a lot of Sunkens there, though. Not much in the way of forces, but reinforcements are on the way. Now we're going to see when the Movie actually goes for this. Zealots first to start off, take the first few hits. Actually going to run back instantly, spotting the number of Sunkens, and take out one single Zergling coming up. Jaedong actually thinking of a counterattack, moving forces towards the upper right. Some Scourge that were on the way, going to get caught by Mulisk. Archons trying to reinforce Scourge.